He made you that way, bro. He made you that way. Esau came out for this one. Look at them. They came out for this one. Right? What's going on in the back, man? Y'all got a question in the back?
I don't understand what you're talking about.
We're talking about the truth. We're talking about the truth of the Bible.
Come on, here.
Where y'all from, man? Where y'all from? I signed. Please don't step on the sign. Please. Y'all right? Where y'all from?
South Indian, yeah.
South Indian. South Indian. Okay, South Indian, right? So what's y'all religion? They cousin, that's true. You said what? Christian. Y'all are Christian, right? All right, so what we talking about is, so y'all believe in the Bible. Let's see the Bible. Y'all believe in the Holy Bible, right? King James Version we got. That's okay with you guys? Okay, so you believe that Jesus Christ died for all mankind. Okay, let's go to Matthew 1:21, right?
So they go trick.
Are you a Christian?
Hell fucking no. I'm a gangster. I ain't know that shit. I'm God loving. No fearing nigga. I will smack the shit out of them. But I love God. You love God?
Y'all coming out this concert? Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, y'all read it.
This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Read on.
For he shall save his people.
All people.
He shall save his people
Say his people, right? Read.
from their sins.
Right, so who is his people?
The adopted sons of Christ. Tell me.
The adopted sons of Christ? Beautiful, Romans 9.
Hold on,
Let's see who the
wait.
adopted pertains to.
Y'all listen to him. What'd you say?
He said, tell me, but he said the adopted sons of Christ.
So
right?
what you say?
We're going to go off the adoption.
Adopted sons of Christ.
Let's see about the adoption.
You can't knock that
Right,
shit.
read.
Romans 9.
Starting about 5.
Okay, come. This is Romans 9 and 5.
Started 4.
Okay, come. Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the
So
adoption?
who pertained to what?
The adoption.
So the Israelites pertain to the adoption, read.
And the glory. And the covenants.
New and old, read.
And the giving of the law. And the service of God. And the promises.
See, that all pertains to the Israelites. So the adopted sons
So
of
hold
Christ, his people,
So
that's
hold
the
on. You
Israelites.
Israelite?
No, sir.
See? So
I'll
what we showing is,
He's paying for all men.
see, but
See,
you said the
listen to
adopted.
him. Listen to what they saying.
Now you said adopted son.
You're right. But
Okay.
now he's opening his adoption to all men.
When did that happen?
Oh, man.
Go ahead,
right?
precept. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 15, verse
John
24.
3:16. Hebrews 1 and 1. Go ahead.
Matthew 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, Christ, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's who he sent to, right? So John 3:16, for God so loved the world, right? Here comes the curveball. Read.
Hebrews 1 and 1. God, who at sundry times in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. Verse 2, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also made the world.
It says he made the
Okay,
world.
okay,
Hold on,
okay,
hold
do
on.
me a favor.
Plural.
Ask them about that shit.
I got you. Plural, right? So what does that let us know if he made the worlds plural?
Ask them about that shit, though.
It's
Ask
more than
them how
one
they
world,
feel
right?
about
It said
shit.
worlds. So what's the world he died for? Isaiah 45:17.
Isaiah
Go
chapter
ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah 45, verse 17.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
So it say Israel, everlasting salvation. Read.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
So it said Israel is a world without end. So if he created worlds, but he so loved the world, everlasting life and everlasting salvation to Israel.
Okay,
See what I'm saying?
they can't do me
So
a
it's all
favor.
pointing to
Hold on, do me a favor. Let them
that,
talk.
that Christ,
Let them talk.
they just asked me a question. I'm answering.
Right, let them talk, though.
So the point is that Jesus Christ died for Israel exclusively.
Ain't no Jesus.
That's right.
Hold on.
Okay, so we're not saved. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Okay.
salvation is not pertinent to you.
Okay.
Let them talk. Let them talk.
So, what does John 3:16 mean to you?
I just showed you. It means Israel. He loved for Israel because Israel is the. You cannot demonstrate any time in the Bible where God expressed love towards any other group of people.
Okay, so what's your point? So then Jesus didn't die for us, sure. I
No,
agree.
he died for the Israelites.
Sure. Okay, so then
Yeah.
what do we do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so your point. So let me understand this. Your point is that Jesus didn't die for us, and that's all you wanted to say.
No. That's my point is different between different people. That's why when you come, I'm gonna ask you, what's your ethnic background? Where do you come from? Because you're not an Israelite. Christ is not pertinent to you. You see what I'm saying? So to somebody else, my point is going to be different. To him, the point is going to be that Christ died for him. Repent and be converted, have faith.
What's your religion?
We don't have a religion. We are the people who wrote this book.
Right.
Our ancestors wrote this book. Our ancestors were raped, robbed, murdered, and enslaved. Right? Now, your ancestors played a part in that, right? Because if we go on biblically, we got to go all the way back. The people of Elon, which is where biblically your people descend from, they enslaved the Israelites in times past. When you read in the book of Esther, right? Things of that nature, right? The people of India had the Israelites in captivity,
So
right?
you say he wrong?
Huh?
You say he wrong? How you
His
believe?
religion wrong? Yes, certainly.
Why you wrong?
Certainly, because it's not.
Because he got his own
because
shit.
it's not biblical.
How you figure?
Because I'm reading
A
it.
cracker wrote that
No,
shit.
he ain't. That's the problem. The crack ain't right none of this, man. What you talking to the cracker running?
What proof do you have that Indians wrote the Bible?
I didn't say the Indians wrote the Bible. I didn't say
You
that.
said my ancestors wrote the Bible.
No, I didn't say your ancestors. I said your ancestors played a part in overthrowing and enslaving.
So how
That's
you say he wrong? What do you believe?
with the Bible.
That's a cracker shit.
See, no, it's not. I can prove it, man.
So
I
do you
can prove
believe
it.
that a God exists?
Of course.
Listen,
I
what is
believe
that
in the
God?
Bible.
So where he
The
from?
God of Abraham,
So
Isaac,
hold on. Where you from?
Is that a religion?
No, that's not a religion.
It's not a religion.
That's not a religion.
It's a
It's
truth.
a group. Here's the problem, right?
Okay.
When you go into antiquity, right? When you go into when you read the Bible about the Israelites, you read about the Canaanites, you read about the Philistines, etc. These were people, and these people had their own gods, right? And that God was worshipped by that people. Wasn't people coming and converting to this God? I'm this people, this is my God, right? You see what I'm saying? Just
Okay.
like if you go to
I got
India,
that.
there's all kind of
whole
gods that
dumb
certain people
shit.
worship. But that's y'all stuff. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Why did Jesus say, "Go into all the world and make disciples"?
I'll show you. Acts 2 and 5.
God. That's all they do.
No, I'm not saying you guys are wrong.
No, I know.
I want to understand what you're saying.
Listen. You asking questions, and we listen. We love to. We love
to hear it.
Prove all things. You got it? Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 5.
Read.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men
Read on.
out of every nation under heaven.
So there was Jews, devout men scattered. There's something called the diaspora. So the Israelites have been scattered through one mechanism or another all over. So that's why Christ sent them out.
Well, why did he say to go into all the world?
I just showed you. It says the
Can you
Jews,
explain that to me?
Jews, devout men. Let's go. Let's hit Acts 2 and 5 again. And we're gonna keep reading.
I got another.
Hold it. Acts 2 and 5. Let Acts 2 and 5 again and read down.
This is Acts chapter 2 verse 5. And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So all over the world, right?
Verse 6. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them spake in his own language.
Sit the 9.
Verse 9. Parthians and Medes and Elamites
Edomites. There was Israelites amongst the in India. Read.
and the dwellers in Mesopotamia.
Over there in Iraq.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Where'd you get the supposition that India is Elamites? Where'd you get that from?
From the Bible.
No, the Bible bullshit.
No, hold on. What's on
I just want to
Hey,
say.
do me a favor, man. Just make sure the crowd don't get you green. You do that for me, brother?
I got it.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
So where in the Bible does it say that Indians are Elamites?
Let's go back to Genesis. You know, Genesis 10, the table of nations, you familiar with it? Right, so it talks about all the various sons, right? So you have Shem have sons, Ham have sons, Japheth have sons, right? So most of Shem's sons went to the area known as the Middle East and eastward of the Middle East, right? So read.
This is Genesis chapter 10 verse 1.
We got a Bible map in the back of their Bible too, right? You got that Bible map because it'll show you the reason
Okay,
of Elam.
one more question.
Go ahead.
So you said you believe the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right?
Yes, sir.
Abraham wasn't a Jew,
Of course not.
so he was an Arab, right?
No, he was not an Arab.
He was an Arab.
He pre-exists Arabs.
No, he was from
Oh,
pre-Shemite.
what does the word Arab mean?
You tell me.
Arab means mixed, right? It's an amalgamation of various Semitic people who are blanketed as Arab. He pre-exists that term, right?
He was part of the
He was,
Hebron Israel.
yeah, but that's not Arab though. That's you can't call him an Arab. That's not an Arab. That's not what he is.
He descended from Hebrew.
He was a Hebrew. He was a Hebrew, right? So he came from a man named Eber, who was a Semite. This is before the term Arab exists and people are identifying as it. So it's wrong to say that Abraham is an Arab.
Amen, bro.
Okay, but why is Abraham in heaven if he's not a Jew?
Who said you had to be a Jew?
You just did.
I didn't say. I said Christ didn't die for anyone that's not an Israelite. How long before Christ was Abraham?
I don't understand that question. Repeat that.
Abraham is long before Christ, right?
Right.
So what does that have to do with him?
God was a spirit. Jesus was a spirit, and he was dwelling amongst us.
Oh, okay, but did you have to, during the time of Abraham, did you have to believe in Jesus to be saved?
No.
No. So why would he have to believe in Jesus to be saved?
He didn't have to believe in Jesus. He just had to believe in the God of Israel.
And Abraham believed in what? Because he the one that gave Israel their God. See, he gave Israel their God. So of course Abraham is of the elect, or Abraham is sealed or quote unquote in heaven. Right? Because that's what you call he's a proto-Israelite. So he's like the Israelites before the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? So he would count, because there's always a lineage of people that God is dealing with, right?
So you're saying Indians don't belong to Indians?
No, but there are some of those people that's in India. You familiar with the city people?
I don't know.
The city, if you research in India, there's a people called the city people, right? These are black people who are oppressed in India, right? Those people are some of the descendants of Israel that's over there in Elam now,
Okay,
right?
so can I read you a verse?
Go ahead.
Romans 11:11.
Go ahead. Go to Romans 11:26. Go ahead.
So I asked, did they stumble in that order that they might fall? By no means. Rather, though their trespass, salvation has come to the Gentiles, so as to make Israel jealous. Now, if their trespass means riches for the world, and if their failure means riches for the Gentiles, how much more will their full inclusion mean? Now I'm speaking to you Gentiles, insomuch then as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry.
Where you at?
So what's your point?
Jesus came for the Jews and the Gentiles.
That didn't say that, but let me show you the conclusion of this parable that you read. You read the beginning. I'm going to show you the conclusion, right? Read.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
And what?
And so all Israel shall be saved.
So all Israel shall be saved. That's the point of it. Not of everybody. It says so all Israel shall be saved. Read. Let me finish. Read.
As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer.
Who's the deliverer? Christ, right? Read.
And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
From everyone.
From Jacob.
From Jacob. Read.
Verse 27. For this
You
is
25? Read 25.
Okay, good. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 25. For I will not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
So when he's breaking down with the olive tree, right, it's a mystery. So he's going to simplify the mystery, right? Read.
That ye should be wise in your own conceit.
He doesn't want people to take that and make it what it is, which is what Christians have done for centuries, right? Read.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
Blindness has happened to Israel. Read.
Unto the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. So what does that mean? What's up, my brother? What does that mean, the fullness of the Gentiles? Somebody give me Genesis. I'm gonna show you what it means. In the Bible, Genesis 48 and 19. Right? Who got the footnotes in their sword too? Right? You got it? Give me Genesis 48 and 19. Hold up, whoever get it first, let me see who got the footnotes. No footnotes? All right, you can read it without the footnotes, but I like the footnotes just to show it. Right? That's it right there. Oh, you got the paragraph out, right? Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me see it. You got the footnotes in there, 48 and 19? You sure? Okay, all right, read it.
This is Genesis 48, verse 19. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly, his younger brother shall be greater than he.
So this is Jacob giving that blessing unto Ephraim, right? Read.
And his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
So it says a multitude of nations, but when you look it up in the Hebrew, it means a fullness of Gentiles, because the word nations, Gentiles, it means the same. It's the same exact thing in Hebrew. It's the Hebrew word goy, right? So it said that Ephraim shall become a multitude of nations, or a fullness of the Gentiles. That's why I asked them for the footnote. You go on the other exhaustive KJVs, and it'll literally say in the footnote, fullness of the Gentiles. So what it's talking about is the reunification, because the two kingdoms of Israel, southern and northern, got separated, right? This is how you have so-called black people and so-called Hispanics in the same ghettos, going through the same exact thing, but we got separated. They came over here, and then we eventually came over here after migrating through Africa and coming in slavery. So what he's talking about is the whole nation of Israel becoming one again. That's what that whole mystery of the olive tree is. Go ahead.
There's a parable Jesus has where he talks about a wedding where the people he invited to the wedding wouldn't come. So he invited people outside.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you then?
I'll show you. Let me get Genesis. Let me get 1 Corinthians. You want to take a picture of anything, you can take a picture. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Right? Because there's something called the diaspora that we talked about earlier, right? So when we deal with the diaspora, what you got? Go ahead.
This is Tobit chapter 13, verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel.
Let's say confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. Right? Now it's going to tell us why. Read on.
For he has scattered us among them.
He have what?
He has scattered us among them.
So we need to be confessed before the Gentiles. Yes, sir, Hebrew Israelites. We need to be confessed before the Gentiles. We need to be confessed before the Gentiles because we've been scattered amongst the Gentiles. Give me first Maccabees, though. I need Maccabees. Matter of fact, you got 1 Corinthians 10? Give me Maccabees 1 and 38. Read.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brothers.
So he's writing to the Corinthians. The Corinthians are Gentiles, right? Let's see, read.
I would not that ye be ignorant.
So Paul doesn't want the Corinthians to be ignorant of something. Let's see what it is, read.
How that all our fathers were under the cloud and passed through the sea. Verse 2.
So all of them were under the cloud and passed through the sea. What's this talking about? Where's a cloud following somebody passing through a sea in the Bible? No, we're going hold on. We'll get this point and we'll come to your question. Read.
Verse 2. And were all baptized unto Moses.
Or what?
All baptized unto Moses.
Who was baptized under Moses? Was it everybody? No, it was the Israelites, right? That's who passed through the cloud, passed under the cloud through the sea. The Israelites. But he's telling the Corinthians not to be ignorant that that's their history. Why would he tell the Corinthians that? Because they're Israelites. I'll explain. Give me that in Maccabees real quick. From Maccabees 1, let's start at about 38. Right?
Believe all Israelites.
This is called the Apocrypha. This was taken out of the Bible by the Protestants. The original Bible that was published had all 14 of these books in it.
What's it called?
The Apocrypha, which means the hidden. The hidden. Read.
Why does it?
This was taken out. You can look this up. The Protestants took this out. Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 48.
38. No, not 38. So like 38 is you and 4, right? Hold on. Let me take it down. Oh yeah, this is me.
Bro,
it ain't 38. What's up? Go ahead. Ask your question.
While you're looking at it, so let's say everything you said is true.
Yes, sir.
And let's say everything. So you're saying African Americans are saved, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say African Americans are saved.
Okay.
I said the Israelites have eligibility for salvation. That's what I said.
Okay, and you said Indians don't, right?
People from India no.
Okay, so then why did he So do you think God created Indians?
Of course.
Okay, so then why did he create an entire race just to be bound to hell?
Give me the word. I didn't say you were bound to hell.
Okay.
I don't even believe in hell.
Okay, so what's gonna happen after I die?
Don't worry. The same thing happens to everyone when they die. We get that scripture again. I'm gonna deal with that. Go ahead. You got what I need? I need became Greeks. Many of them considered us his religion.
Believe in Revelation.
Yeah, 2 Maccabees 6. You said what?
You believe in Revelation.
Of course. I'm gonna answer all your questions. So first you asked about we're gonna talk about hell. We're gonna talk about why you've been created, etc. Give me that real quick. You got what I need? Now watch this real quick, just to deal with the Corinthians and Greeks, right? Read.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So it became illegal to profess yourself to be a Jew during the time of the Greeks. So many Israelites, if you weren't being called a Jew, what are you going to be called? The ruling people, the Greeks. Right? So this is how it became Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Cappadocians, etc.
I'm sorry, bro.
Right? Go ahead.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashion and be partakers of their sacrifices, and whosoever would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Right, so it was forced assimilation that the Israelites went to. This is how they became Gentiles, right?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, starting at the top. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
So it's not hell that's coming to your people, but this is what's coming to your people. Read.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
shall what?
Set them in their own
So we're
land.
going to gather Israel and set them in their own land. Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
And the strangers, you people will be joined with us. Read.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Read on.
What verse is this?
Isaiah 14. We started at 1. Read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord
The house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. Read.
for servants and handmaids.
So that's what your judgment is. Not hell. It's to be possessed as servants and handmaids. The same way the Israelites had to serve your people, you got to serve the Israelites. Read.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were,
Y'all had us in captivity. We get to take y'all into captivity. Read.
and they shall
Y'all
rule.
got a question? Y'all listen. Y'all know about the Israelites?
I'm trying to get into it.
You trying to get into it? What about you, brother? You heard about it? Y'all from the shop? So I say y'all heard about it. It's Israelites all over the place, man. So we just teaching out here so we the true people of God, trying to turn, repent, come back to these scriptures, man. That's simple, right? Go ahead. Ain't no more flyers for them? We fresh out of flyers? Go ahead.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
And they shall what?
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
So everyone who oppressed the Israelites will be ruled over and oppressed by the Israelites. So ain't no hell, magical place, some damn people burning forever. That's not what's getting ready to happen. What's getting ready to happen is the Israelites will get their get back, right? Go ahead.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
Right.
And
So when you die, your body is made up of dust. Your dust return back to the earth as it was. Read.
and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
And it said the spirit returned to God who gave it. So it ain't talking about nobody go to no hell. Everyone go back to God. Your spirit go back to God. Right? Give me Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. You know why? Because the place of judgment is not hell or heaven. The place of judgment is right here on earth. That's why you see people get judged all the time. Go on, 1 second. I'm going to read this. I'm going to come right to you. Go ahead.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. That wickedness was there.
See, under the sun. What's under the sun? The earth. That's where the place of judgment is. The earth. Right here under the sun. The earth. This is where judgment happens, man. That's why people suffer and going through all this stuff. See, this is why people start getting mad at God, because they've been painted a false ideology of God. They think everything is supposed to be cool all the time. No, you're in the place of judgment. That's why bad things happen to people here, because this is the place of judgment, right? You know.
And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Right. Boom. Question. What scripture you need?
Can you read Revelations 5 verse 9?
Of course.
All right, brother.
All right, definitely, brother. Give me that in the Greek. Give me Revelation 5 and 9 in the Greek. Somebody pull up on their phone, get it in the Greek. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, that has redeemed us to God by the blood of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Verse 6.
Hold on, Salaki. Keep it in 9. Pull that up. Look up the word kindred. Now watch this again. Read that again.
This is Romans 5 and 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kindred,
right?
and tongue
right?
and people.
Hold on. Read slow. Every tongue, right? We just read in Acts 2 and 5 where it said what? Jews, devout men, out of every nation, speaking every language, right?
I think for me, what I understood is every nation.
Listen. Jews are in every nation, right?
I don't know.
Did we read it in the Bible? Do you agree with the text?
I think we're all chosen.
Hold on. The Bible said there were Jews in every nation. Do you agree with the Bible?
When did it say that?
We read it in Acts 2 and 5.
Okay,
Right?
sure.
Sure, okay, right? So in every tongue, they spoke every tongue. In every nation, read.
In every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
Right? So
Can I ask you something? Like, in that, why wasn't it more specific? Why didn't it say Jews of all?
Don't. I'm going to show you it actually is, if you would actually read the Greek. So we've already proved that the Jews are in every nation, right? So it said nation, language, and people. But here's a word there called kindred, right? Now, kindred is dealing with a bloodline. Kindred, right? So let's take a look at this word kindred in the Greek, right? We got it in the Strong's dictionary, which is dealing with the Thayer's lexicon, right? And let's read what it says.
This is Strong's G5443. That word is phule. It is in the New Testament.
In the New Testament, we're reading the New Testament, right? Read.
all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
Read it again.
In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
So that's what the word Kendrick means. So it actually literally is saying that all of the 12 tribes of Israel, that's who's been redeemed.
Okay. Can you guys read Acts 17, 25 and 29?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 26 to 29.
Go ahead.
Acts chapter 17, what verse you want?
26 to 29.
Yes, sir.
17 and 26. This is Acts 17 and 26. And have made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation. Verse 27, that they should seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after him, and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. Verse 28, for in him we live, and move, and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring. Verse 29, for as much then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold, or silver, or stone, graven by art and man's device.
What's the point? He makes of all nations one blood, right? I got you. Go ahead. Hold on. Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
Deuteronomy 32 verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
All the sons of Adam got one blood. But what did God do? Read it again.
He separated the sons of Adam.
So we're all in one blood. But he still separated the sons of Adam. Read.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
See that? So Israel is still the chosen. Yes, we all in one blood, but he's still separating people. Give me Leviticus 20 and 26. Right? To show you more separation. Right? Read on.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
You know what the word holy means? Separate. So how can you be holy in that we're all one people? There's no holiness there. Read.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you.
Have what?
Have severed you.
Severed, meaning cut. Cut us from what?
From other people.
He cut us from other people. That's right. So it's not about that oneness. It's about us being cut from other people. Read.
That ye should be mine.
That we should be whose?
That ye should be mine.
So if you're God, you're going to be separate from other people. That's just natural. See what I'm saying? Why? Because God is holy. Go ahead. You have a question?
So, can you summarize what you meant by who the Gentiles are then?
What do you mean? In what context?
God
Gentile?
said he died for the Gentiles, Jew and Gentile.
When did God say he died for the Jew and Gentile? I need you to show me God saying he died for the Jew and Gentile. You made very specific word usage. I need God saying he died for the Jew and Gentile.
Can you read Romans 2?
Hold on. You said God, right?
Yes.
Epistle is not thus saith the Lord. You said God. I need thus saith the Lord.
Okay. So
hold on. I can deal with that epistle, but you said God, so I'm being specific to what you said.
Then maybe there's no Old Testament verse.
No, there's anything Christ, any red letter is also thus saith the Lord.
Okay, sure. But my question is, do you believe in apostles and what they believed in?
What do you mean? Do I believe in the apostles and what they believed in?
Disciples like Paul and Peter.
Paul, not a disciple. Paul's an apostle. He was never a disciple. When was Paul ever a disciple? He was an apostle.
Peter and all of them. Do you believe in them?
What do you mean? Do I believe in them?
And everything that they said.
I don't believe in everything they said.
Okay, why?
How could I? Did they have all information? Did Paul call himself Timothy's father?
Okay.
He did. Did Christ say, "Call no man father"? Christ said, "Do not call a man your father," in a spiritual context, right?
Heavenly Father, yes. Only God is your heavenly Father.
But Paul going around calling himself somebody's daddy, right?
But you have an earthly father.
Hold on, yeah, that's but he's literally my daddy, right? Not just some guy that got close to when he talked. See what I'm saying?
Who's your dad? What are you saying?
No, my father is. I have an earthly father, of course. He's my biological father, right? Then I have my heavenly father, right? I don't have no other father. You see what I'm saying?
No
that's
other
it.
heavenly father?
No, just God, right?
Yes.
Boom. So why is a man calling himself somebody's father who's not the biological father. When Christ told us not to do that.
If you're someone actual's biological.
No, I'm not talking about.
No, he said
Paul ain't Timothy's dad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Paul said that.
So here's what I'm saying. Am I saying that Paul is severely wrong? No. What I'm saying is that we have something. Let me see the sword. We have something that the apostles didn't have. We have the whole Bible in retrospect. You see what I'm saying? They didn't walk. We can walk around with the Bible in our pockets. They couldn't walk around like that, right? They literally had to remember what was in the Bible through what they heard at synagogue. You see what I'm saying? On a weekly basis. So even the Gospels, as we have them, we're not walking around for all the apostles to have, especially not Paul, right? So we can't say that everything they said was 100% right, because we could literally look at things they say that we can look at other scriptures that are thus saith the Lord that were wrong. Now, we throw them out? No. We just understand that they, as you, as me, were men, right, who could make a mistake or could be ignorant of something, and then later find out, oh, I said this, I was wrong about that. So we don't look at the apostles as infallible. No, we don't subscribe to the idea of biblical inerrancy. So we have to put on our microscope, right? But I also don't believe
disciples. You believe 100%.
No, I didn't necessarily say that.
Okay, not even disciples.
Because James is a disciple, and he said God doesn't tempt anybody. But I can go right into the Bible and show you God tempted people. See what I'm saying? So, do we say, oh, look, it's a no, I don't say it's a contradiction. I said, clearly, the brother didn't know that, or else he wouldn't have said that. I'm not going to say he's purposely being wrong. He just didn't know, or else he wouldn't have said that. And he was saying, and the spirit of what he was saying was not wrong. But in saying all of that, I don't believe that when they say Jew and Gentile, they're including people who aren't Israelites. That's what I was going into with the assimilation. I said all that to get back to the point of, even when if you can go into the epistle, we can deal with those scriptures as well. Right? Because you had the Israelites who were forced into being Gentiles. Right? Read.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Don't go to the way of the Gentiles. Read on.
And enter any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
The lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's the key. The lost sheep. Get that back in John 6 that you had. Right, now's the time for that, right? Just to show you that the Israelites being Gentiles. Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him?
How we ain't gonna find him no more, right? Read.
Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles? The
dispersed among the Gentiles is the subject, right? And what?
And teach the Gentiles.
So they're calling the dispersed among the Gentiles Gentiles. But who are the dispersed?
You're saying the Israelites.
The Israelites. That's who got dispersed amongst all nations. Are the Israelites. So this is who was getting
what
sent
verse
out
was
to.
that just
this
now?
is John 7:35. You went to 36?
No, I didn't read 36.
Just 35. John 7:35, right? So the Israelites go. This is why this book, like for example, you have certain people that dispute if this book is divinely inspired, right? That's fine. Nobody disputes the historical value, right? So when you read a book in 1st and 2nd Maccabees, you read about history of Israel that was going on, what they call during intertestamental time. In between Malachi and Matthew, there's some history here. That was during the time of the Greek captivity of Israel. So this is when you read about massive now. Give me that. It says in here, many of the Jews. It's in the first chapter. Get it in here, right? It says many of the Jews consented to his religion, right? That's what I need. Many of the Jews in Maccabees, right? You should have it. You should have it highlighted, right? So it documents what happened. You got precept?
Yeah, precept. This is John 12:19. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, Perceive ye how ye prevail nothing. Behold, the world is gone after him.
Right. So we said the world is gone after him, but did the world go after Jesus during the time he was on the scene?
No.
Only the Jews was following him around. They said, what the world? You see what I'm saying? So just showing you the different content. Just
I mean, there's a Samaritan woman and stuff like that.
Of course, let's deal with the Samaritan. Give me John 4. I'm going to show you about the Samaritan woman. Go ahead.
This is 1st Maccabees chapter 1 verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So many Israelites, they followed after Antiochus, right? This is Maccabees. So like I just explained, even people who dispute whether it's divinely inspired, nobody who believes in the Bible can dispute the historicity of this book. So it's the intertestamental history of Israel, right? So this happened, right? Keep reading that.
Many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
So they just totally, we're going to go follow the Greek gods, right? Give me 1 Corinthians 12. You got that? Give 1 Corinthians
I
12.
think we're about to dip. But
I got one more for the Samaritan woman. You said Samaritan woman. Let me get you that one. Samaritan woman, John 4 and 8.
This is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 8. From the top.
Can I get that?
No.
This really just
It's John 4 and 8.
It's not for us.
For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
12.
Okay, go. 4 and 12. And the greater, and thou greater than our father Jacob.
She said what?
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
So she said Jacob's, the Samaritan woman said Jacob's her father. So that also shows Gentile, because she's an Israelite, but she's being called a Samaritan. But Jacob is truly her father. You know what I'm saying? So Israelites were called all types of things.
who is that? Who are you
The Samaritan woman. Let's start up at 8. Let's start up at 8 just to give the context.
This is John 4 and 8. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Verse 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him.
So this is Samaritan woman talking. So then she said what?
How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria?
See that, which is a woman of Samaria. So in understanding that, even the term Jew, all Israelites are not Jews. Only the people that lived in Judea are Jews, which is just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Them other tribes, they're not Jews. They'll never be called Jews, right? Read.
For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
So we were treating these people like, we don't mess with y'all. Usually because of whatever ideology, philosophy they went off into idolatry. They were treated like not to be Jews. Right? Even Christ said in Matthew 18, if he will not hear you, treat him as a heathen then, right? So he may not be a heathen, but they're being treated, they're being regarded as heathens, right?
Verse 10, Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift. Okay, come on. Verse 12, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drinketh thereof himself?
So he's showing that's her father, Jacob. So she would have to be an Israelite.
SICARRI.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother Chief Priest Alazar Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's urbngrla.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another SICARRI business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up deaconsicari.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.